Probably the best adventure bike ever.
My voice is back this time.
Straight from China.
Grr. We're e-biking right now, baby.
It's Chinese KTM.
Big and heavy right here. Do you know Arctic leopards are rare?
I got nothing for that. Like,
when the monkey holds the...
yeah, it's on Nat Geo, I know.
I don't know if I agree with that statement. The thunder leopard, I like that.
Electrified.
Give me a throttle and I'll go.
Good morning, welcome back to vlog 12. And once again, we have Mr. Ron Lawson and
Happy to be here.
Carson Brown. Dang, dude, I see you more than Ron at this point. Like,
And my voice is back this time.
You're not
We're doing
sick.
good, yeah.
And we have possibly an adventure bike for you to just wreak havoc on.
I'm all
per
for it.
usual. We have a lot of bikes for you to wreak havoc on.
I'm all for it. I don't know. I'll cove it.
For some reason, and I don't know why, because it says it on your back huge, like Brown and 910, the whole deal. But we got a lot of comments on the gas, and they're like, oh, no way, that's Carson. Now that makes sense why the bike's being pinned everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Just wild.
That
was a sick video,
was fun.
dude.
Yeah,
You rode good.
Jump of Doom or whatever you called it. That was cool.
On the YZM.
On the YZM. But yeah, we had the gas out there.
You've ridden a lot of bikes.
Yeah, I can't even keep track.
Cove, Gas EX300. Do you have any favorites, or you just don't care? Just give me a throttle and you go.
Give me a throttle and I'll go. I mean, that looks pretty fun. I'm all for it.
You think you can wheelie it?
We're gonna find out here real quick. Might be replacing the pipe on her.
Ron, what do you think about that?
I'm game for it as long as I'm not behind it or on the back on the rear seat.
You should
when he's
totally
doing
get on the back seat and let Carson do a wheelie with you on it.
It's got
It would probably happen once.
It's got pegs for wheelies. Ron, what's the worst that could happen?
We have some great victims here. We've got the Artic Leopard guys with some electric bikes, and they're straight from China. Well, except for one of them, and one guy's from Singapore. We got all kinds of crazy stuff today.
And that, actually, speaking of China and things of that, Ron, tell me what's going on. This is a 790 KTM adventure bike, and you were explaining to me a little bit, but let's tell everyone, what in the world is this thing?
So back in 2020, we first tested this. It was from Austria. It's like probably the best adventure bike ever, 790 KTM. And immediately they were kind of undercut by the T7 Yamaha and all that. And so they decided they'd get it away from the T7 by making it bigger and more expensive. And that was the 890. Here a few years later, they decided like, well, having the 790 wasn't so bad after all. So they shipped all the tooling to CF Moto in China, which is KTM's partner in China. In Hangzhou. Boom, it's Chinese KTM.
And you said you were able to ride this a little bit?
Yeah, I've already ridden it a couple of days. You know, it's 2020. I don't really remember exactly what the 790 was like. There's no way in the world that it feels like a Chinese bike. I mean, it's a KTM.
So it's a good bike.
It's a way good bike. And it has all the same electronics. It's got all the traction control things. And that was what was cool about the 790 when it came out. It had just next level traction control.
Interesting.
And this bike is like $11,000, whereas the 890 is like $15,000. No, I'm all in. I think the only thing that's kind of a compromise on this bike is it has what they call their Apex suspension. It's still WP stuff, might be Chinese WP stuff.
Interesting.
And it's a little, you know, it's kind of shorter travel than the 890, and it's not that great. Everything else about it is exactly like the 890.
Well, I know a guy that can ride the heck out of a Cove, and so he's been quite the adventure bike tester. He's right over there. I'm sure he's just the right fit to see what this bike can really do.
Do you want to take a look at the Artic Leopard for the first
We should.
time? I haven't even looked at it yet.
Let's take a look. You know, I've heard of the snow leopard. I guess it's really rare in National Geographic.
See, there's an ATV called Arctic Cat.
You know about snow leopards?
I do.
They're rare.
Yeah, they are rare.
But this is an Arctic leopard, which is not the same.
I'm aware. I don't know what to say, but yeah.
That's even better. So EXE 800 Artic Leopard, Ron.
This is Braxton Bell.
What's up, boys?
Hey,
You
How's it going?
want to tell me a little bit about your bike here?
Yeah, so this is the Artic Leopard EXE 800. So this bike It's primarily designed for enduro use. That's what it's tuned for. Its kind of official unveiling this year was the Dakar. So.
Oh, I did see some images from Dakar with you guys promoting the bike. That's really cool.
Yeah. So we had 3 bikes.
What a way to test it, huh?
Yeah, they performed incredible there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put any bike through some sort of like endurance, brutal, just testing, that's
where you start. Yeah.
Yeah, you start there and then you bring Carson Brown because
that's the next step.
Yeah.
So how do you get through a stage of Dakar with one battery?
So the electric series is slightly different because this is the first year they did it.
Okay.
So it wasn't a full-length Dakar stage. It was like 100 miles.
Still pretty impressive, 100 miles.
And we just charged at night. Some of the stops had solar panels for us to charge. Some had generators, just whatever was available there for us to charge.
So what size motorcycle, gasoline motor, would this one be similar to?
This one's comparable to a 250. So it runs about a 37 horsepower electric motor.
With this battery that's in it right now, what kind of range would we get out of that?
So they rate it, which battery rating, kind of a weird thing. They rate this one at 100 miles. So we say if you get half of that, you did pretty good.
Okay.
If half of what the rating is pretty good.
And if it goes all completely flat and you plug it into the wall, how long does it take to get going?
Depends on if you're using 110 or 220. Makes a big difference. That
right,
2
just
hours.
like charging a vehicle or any of that.
Yeah, higher voltage is is faster charging.
Looks like fun. It's got a throttle and 2 wheels, so.
Do you think you can wheelie this?
We're gonna find out. There's no pipe to smash on this one.
You know, if you wheelie the Adventure KTM bike over there with Ron in the back and that goes well, there's no hospital trips.
Then
I think
we
next
move up to this.
you put Ron on the back and you guys wheelie that.
I'm all for it. We could go maybe Ron on the bars.
Ron's face doesn't really, he's not feeling it as much as you. That's okay.
We'll get him warmed up to it.
Here's the Arctic Leopard in all of its glory. Ron already got some photos of it. Now I'm doing all the video work on it. They are claiming that it is 230 pounds. So it would weigh pretty close to what, you know, a 450 motocrosser would, somewhere in that range. All right, so we have the 790 adventure bike from KTM. Like Ron said, it is made in China, but he does enjoy this bike quite a bit. We're gonna have Carson Brown ride it today. Watching him ride the Cove, there's no doubt about it, he's gonna send it on this bike. What do we got?
Well, it's going, so
we're e-biking?
That's a start. We're e-biking right now, baby.
Carson's on E. All right, I'm gonna hop on. Carson saved me the gripper part. Carson, any initial reviews?
Well, it's working for tandem, so that's a start.
Carson just got his feet off. I don't know, it's early on, but I low-key feel bad for the people that said it's okay for Carson Brown to test this today.
Which one? This one or this one?
We'll go to that one.
You don't want the kiddie track?
Might do some whoops or something fun. Dude, they say this is a 250 equivalent. I feel like you could line up at a national right now.
Oh, is that right?
Factory Arctic Leopard Racing starring Carson Brown.
I'm thinking, I don't know if I agree with that statement, but...
You could be the first factory Arctic Leopard racer at a national.
Sign me up.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking.
It's got a cool, like, sound to it.
And the tagline is grr. Like...
Grr.
You have to say it on the starting line against like all the...
Everybody's revving up their bikes.
Kitchen, all of them, and you're just grrring at it.
I just go grr.
Yeah. Show us what the wild thing does. Wheelie this thing right here. I want to see if you can wheelie.
All right, just for you.
I don't know if you can. Dude, you can wheelie the heck out of that thing.
We're trying.
So here's the problem, right? So you come out, I film with you, and we do our thing, and it's all gravy. But then I'm stuck with him.
Oh, how? Ouch! Like I just show up,
Yeah.
and
Here's the
Take a
thing,
shot.
I'm not with Jared, so normally I'm bagging on Jared about this sort of thing, and now it's just a hierarchy thing, right? So Carson's here.
I'm here,
and no
Jared.
So I can't bag on Jared for Supercross or anything else, so you're next in line. Why don't you wheelie like Carson?
Because I can't. Just bottom line, there is lots of stuff that Carson can do that I can do. Not as good or as fast or anything like that. But when it comes to off-road, like you saw in the dual sport videos, and he was on the Covey, and I could hang with him in the general vicinity.
Okay, how about?
But today, Carson just seems electrified. So I can't do it.
But even the Covey, he had to go up that big hill climb on the Covey, and you were having a little problem on just a stock standard KTM 500.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because that was scary, and I'm old. I'm almost twice this young man's age. I can honestly say that he is way better on a motorcycle than I
That
am.
was the Dirtbike magazine hill climb with Doom, and normally when I put something in Doom and title it, he usually comes out the winner of the whole thing.
But hey, I made it. I made it
That's true, you did
up
make
there.
it.
So, and I did it multiple times. So
Hey, you can't forget though, in the figure 8 of Doom, I wasn't able to pass him, so I resorted to taking him out.
Tilly was.
yeah, see, see,
Tilly did. He was a show out in the figure eight.
Yeah.
I could step up, but that's about it.
Jared was not having the figure eight of Doom.
Yeah, and I don't think I made myself look bad on a 125. We'll see the 125 shootout here in a couple weeks, and I don't think I looked out of place on the 125.
But that was
So,
your era.
you're right, I probably-
1999, just in these hills right over there. 1999, this guy was on a KTM 125, the only one representing the Austrians and just battling it out with all the Japanese.
And I like to say that I helped R&D the bike that Dungey made famous.
Yeah, I remember that bike as a little kid, and it was really famous for its just superb suspension.
Yeah, then the media really did a great job in selling you on that, because it was the complete opposite. The motors were amazing. The engines, 125 engine was probably the fastest 125 engine of the day, but man, the handling on those motorcycles was atrocious.
Didn't
So-
Pingree have a good time once in Supercross with that?
Yeah, I think that was the frame that split in
Yeah.
half or something like that. But hey, they've come a long way, and we could be saying the same thing about a lot of motorcycles
Well,
that
I
are
don't know
on the
if
market
you've
today.
heard yet, and I don't want to stamp anything into cement, but there's a factory Artic Leopard team for 2025. Guess who's on the team? It's a solo team, and it's right there.
Wait, you came back to me. I know I didn't sign a contract.
No, right there.
Oh, right there.
He's
It's
gonna-
right
Yeah, we're
there.
working on
And
it right
tell
now,
him,
yeah.
Tell him what I told you have to do on the line when you're on the team.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody's gonna be revving up. I'll try and be like, you know, next to Levi Kitchen or something. And since this doesn't make any noise, I go grr.
Well, it's
I mean, take it as you want.
either way.
Well, it just depends on how you feel
Yeah,
that day.
that's how spicy we're feeling on this thing.
Either way, it's the international sign of the Wildcat.
An
If you watch
Arctic
Nat
Leopard.
Geo, like the international, like how you communicate with the Wildcat is you go grr. It's on Nat Geo.
I got nothing for that. Like, I was gonna come up with something cool, like Arctic Leopard and all kinds
See,
of stuff.
he was hitting me with
Travis,
that stuff
Travis
earlier
has
today,
done way
too.
too much research. Like, I told Travis what we were riding yesterday.
Yeah.
And he went on the internet and did all the research. He knows the ins and outs of this motorcycle. He knows that this is a regen,
He knows how
not
to
a
speak
brake.
to it now.
Yeah, like, and so he knows the native language of the Arctic Leopard.
He started out the day going, "Did you know Arctic leopards are rare?" And I was like, "Yeah, what did I even say to that?"
Well, but he's not talking about
Yeah.
the specimen that's in front of us and
No.
underneath you. He's talking about the Arctic Leopard.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys sit in bushes for like 10 months waiting for that thing just to come down a hill. On the bike so far, the Arctic Leopard.
It wheelies. It's going, so.
With that being said, Carson's
Yeah.
been riding it for about 30 minutes. There is some factory bikes that wouldn't last 30 minutes underneath Carson Brown. The factory Arctic Leopard might be a
Yeah.
good thing for 2025.
You're right.
Does it do a burnout? That's my other question.
Ooh, I don't know about right now.
It does do a burnout. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna walk around like
Start
that.
calling you Slick Willie.
Ooh.
You know how like Greenland and Iceland, everyone thinks that Iceland is icy and Greenland is nice and green.
And it's
actually the opposite. That's kind of how the actual Arctic leopard is. Arctic leopards are actually found in New Guinea, Africa. Not like you'd think penguins, polar bears, you know, sea otter, all that stuff. It's actually not. It's in Africa. So like picture the Lion King when the monkey holds the...
That's the best you could come up with is a summer leopard?
On the fly, and I didn't come up with it. It's on Nat Geo. It was a whole thing. But the thing about the Arctic leopard that's different than any other leopard is it's really hard to find. Most animals want you to see them at some point. Arctic leopards don't want you to see them, so they don't allow you.
You are a wealth of knowledge that I got nothing
seen,
for. Except for this one. This one shows up.
This one showed up and Carson's riding it.
I feel like this video's gonna end up on like an Animal Theories channel instead of like a Dirt Bike magazine.
Well, the bad thing is there's gonna be people out there that are gonna take what he says and believe it. Yeah, it's on Nat Geo, I know.
If you guys would just educate yourselves and watch some Nat Geo, you would understand. It's Carson's dad, Dwayne Brown. He doesn't get the credit for creating this monster of a man on a dirt bike.
Heat stroke, boy, drink water.
Well, if you look at dirtbikemagazine.com, Ron Lawson just put up a feature on Langtown. And Langtown, if you guys don't remember, was probably the richest mini race back in what, the early 2000s?
Yeah, they started it in '86. I think we started doing it with BBR mid '90s, went all the way to '05. But so much fun, tiny backyard, but all the stars.
Supercross style track, like pretty insane. So the roots of BBR, and everybody knows the insane bikes that they make, and now they're back and doing a lot more stuff today. So check that out. This man was featured on that. A slightly younger, slightly thinner, slightly more energetic.
Yeah, I was still riding
Dwayne
back
Brown.
then, trying to win races. So.
Yeah, no, and he had to go up against some heavy hitters.
Like Spud Walters.
I don't think Spud did it.
You know, Ron Wood did it, Ron Cotta, Smale, Hagseth, Jimmy Lewis, O'Mara, Mike Healy. I mean, every year some big star showed up, and it was tough for him to win it. I mean, it was gnarly. To pass, you pretty much had to take somebody out and put them through Bob's fence. It was a blast. I mean, the bikes were tough. We were making frames, swing arms, everything to get it right.
Well, not much has changed because now you have a full-time kid. That...
Yeah, I have 4 or 5 motorcycles at my house that are custom built that are coming apart at the seams because of Carson. And I know that they have more at their house because that's where all the bikes are built. But yeah, it's pretty amazing on how far BBR as a company has come. And now Carson is the one doing all the testing for the company and beating up the bikes, so you know that they're built really
well, they can
stout.
withstand this guy. It's pretty much, I give it a stamp of approval.
Like I said, if anything can last more than a half an hour underneath him, it's pretty amazing.
I can't deny that.
No. like me and my brother designed this stuff all day long and think it's amazing, and 5 minutes in, Carson's got it in 2 pieces.
Well, and that's what makes him, for us, that's what makes him such a great test rider. Like, we just throw him on all kinds of stuff. Today, we're joking around, but he's on the Arctic Leopard. And yesterday, he was on a KTM 790. And the day before, he was on a Suzuki with a KTM 300 power plant. He's gonna race the 2-stroke nationals. It's great for us and great for Red Bull. I mean, Red Bull picking him up and doing stuff with him, people all around the world that are watching what he's doing on a daily basis. And it's a great thing for him to get something like this because it's perfect for his mentality. If you put somebody like this just in the racing side of it, yeah, he's a good racer, but where his benefit is doing all this other stuff because he just likes riding dirt bikes.
You remind me of the new golden retriever puppy you buy, and you get them all these chew toys, but they're blown out with like all the cotton and stuff on the couch about like 5 seconds in. That's like you with the dirt bike.
Yeah, and then I go to something that like really shouldn't be chewed up, you know, and then that's the most fun.
Yeah. Whoa! My man's going off-road now.
Yeah.
You're getting muddy, dude.
Getting out my inner Mark Tilley off-roadness.
I see that. You're getting sloppy. You're in a diaper. Carson, call this the River Creek of Doom.
Ooh, I like the Doom.
Let's see if you can jump it.
All right.
Over the juicy spot. So the more of the water. Don't be trying to land in that dry all early 5-foot gap. I want to see the real McCoy.
Okay, okay.
Let's see what you got. Oh my God. Carson landed way over here with no room to spare. So calculated.
They were close.
Millimeters from
Doom.
Doom. So once again, you beat the challenge. There was no one near, no Jared to get pissed off and not want to do it.
Yeah, Jared, get back here soon, man.
I know, I love the challenges between you two.
Yeah.
You know, like the age gap, the generation gap. I know you rode motorcycles, but maybe I just wasn't around for it. I didn't hear about it, but I didn't hear anything about Dwayne Brown sending it like Carson back in the day. Where the hell did he pick this up?
You know, it's all on my wife's side. She used to send it, and her brother sent it, so we always joke that it's her gene pool.
What did you feed this kid?
I don't know. He came out of the womb just twisting the throttle hard. I always joke, it's not my genes, it's hers. I would let off the throttle every time.
That's like where he's staying on. I would for sure already be like brakes, everything to save it. Nope. Just more gas for Carson.
Yeah, he'll twist her all the way.
790 adventure from being on E back to old fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
It's pretty much dinosaur bones in that gas tank.
Big and heavy right here.
There's nothing wrong
I
with
could
that,
make a
though.
lot of jokes about this, but I'm not.
It's nothing wrong with having a bigger thing. And show us what you got.
All right.
If it's anything like the Covey, we're in for some treats.
Oh, either way.
It's 790 cc's. Look at that. And you didn't show him that.
Nothing.
Carson, there's like a decent hill climb right there. You think you can make it on this thing?
Yes, I just don't know what's on the other side.
Street.
Okay, perfect. We need to pin it up that bad boy.
This is kind of like the corner of doom, but you're on your own today.
This is the corner of rev limiter. People have flown off that.
Oh, God. His gear. He does not do anything without his gear on.
He's in his gear. He's got the
He's
step
gonna
ramp
go
out.
home and see his family in his gear.
You're about to see some teamwork right here.
Electric bike, and then you rode the 790. I saw you on the 790 get pretty rowdy.
There was 2 times where like it felt like I was doing some cool stuff, but I know it's just not gonna like be that cool.
I thought it was cool because I know I couldn't do it.
I thought I was gonna like wrap that thing around the tree for sure, but we didn't, so.
You through the mud puddles was the gnarliest.
Oh,
yeah.
We found the rev limiter on it, so.
Covey or 790?
Ooh, the Covey was a little more versatile. I'm giving the Covey the win. On it. Yeah, I know.
Did you hear that? He gave the Covey the win over the 790.
Whoa. Ron doesn't seem impressed.
We have a Covey possible factory rider coming.
Yeah, something like that.
Ron, you're still in your gear. Testing concluded. Testing
put on-
concluded hours ago and you're still in your gear.
I might put on my helmet to load this thing up.
That's a happy man right there. You see that smile?
Oh yeah, he's excited. We got 2 new bikes today. We got a 790 and an Arctic Leopard.
Arctic Thunder.
The Thunder
Cat.
Leopard.
The Thunder Leopard. I like that. Oh
That could be
God.
like their super juiced up one, like max juice.
They're using that for sure.
That like. That is it for vlog 12. Thanks for watching Carson Brown wreak havoc once again on some of our test bikes. We will have full test bike videos on both of these motorcycles and a ton of information on dirtbikemagazine.com. Ron and Tilly and the rest of us put a lot of the detail and information and testing feedback there. Make sure to follow us on YouTube as always, subscribe so you stay up to date with what we're doing. We got a ton of bikes coming. We do have a 125 shootout on the way, so check out our channel and stay tuned to that. And until then, we'll see you guys down the trail.